Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby. I'm a mom of four, and every single month I share my goals here with you guys. I share things like what our homeschooling goal is, what my own personal goals may be for the month, what our family focus is. We are kind of goal setters in our family, and we like to, both my husband and I both like to have checklists and focus points, and we don't do well with no structure. So our kids are very much the same way, thankfully, so it doesn't cause a lot of conflict or pressure to have goals in our house, and we don't present things as goals to our kids. It's just kind of like, hey guys, let's be mindful of this, or we're gonna try to do this month, or something like that. So anyway, I say this every single time, but in case you are new to my channel, do not hold yourself to some unrealistic standard. Goals just happen to work really well for me and my personality, and I like to just be focused on doing a couple of things well. Otherwise, I would put the pressure on myself without these goals of just being perfect across the board or trying to do everything, and it just doesn't work out well for me. So goals are boundaries for me. For some people, boundaries mean don't set goals. So keep that in mind. I am going to share my goals with you for the summer. I won't be sharing July goals. I've just got a certain set of goals that I want to be working on in this homeschool time off that we are taking right now before we start back to school mid-July. So I will not be sharing July goals. These goals are for the next 6 weeks or so. All right, here's what I have on my mind this summer. So first things first, my parenting goal. I mentioned this in my summer plans video, but my goal is to take my kids on some one-on-one dates this summer. John actually said he wanted to do the same thing as well, but I was so thankful that he knew to then add on to that. But I think I'm going to do it on my own too, because I really want to do this with my kids. I feel like I'm teaching at them so often and parenting them and just really focused on what needs correction, or, you know, we're not getting a lot of heart-to-heart time like I used to get with them when they were very little. And so I just kind of want that time with them that's outside of the school rewards kind of time. I want to do a beach day alone with them and just get ice cream and not really be like thinking about you know, what's next on the schedule. I want to take one of them to like a top golf place and just have fun with them. And so when John said that he wanted to do the same thing too, I would have definitely like deferred to him and what he thought that looked like if that meant that he was gonna come along and do it with us. However, I'm so grateful for him and the way that he just knows me, because I think he knew I would have said yes no matter what. And so he was like, you know, it would be good for you guys to do that alone. I think I just want to do that too. I might want to take them with me to work one day, or come home from work and take them to lunch or something. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. So now not only am I still going to be having that one-on-one time with them this summer, but also they're going to get it double, because they're going to be able to go have lunch with dad too. Each of them at some point this summer. So I think that'll be good for everyone in our family, and definitely for our parenting. It would be interesting for he and I to discuss what each of our kids shared with us or wanted to do with us in our one-on-one time. I think it's just important to kind of step back and see and assess where your kids are at in life, and like what their interests are, if they're a little personality traits of the past that you're holding on to, and kind of like, I know I have one kid in particular who I kind of think is stuck in this one like whiny stage or something, and then when I step back and look, I'm like, oh my goodness, they've grown so much, but I haven't been one-on-one or outside of the home with them to really notice those things. So it's really healthy all around to see growth, to see interests, and to get one-on-one with them. So I think John and I may discuss that after we spend some time with them. I'll just go into our family goal, since I was just kind of talking about John and what he and I had talked about with the parenting goal. Our family goal is just to simplify our evenings right now. We are just about wrapped up with dance is over, karate is still going all summer, but music lessons are shifting because their music teacher is moving. So we're gonna be starting with a new teacher, but we're not going to start until August. So we won't have violin this summer. We won't have dance. There's an intensive week this week for the company dancers, but then after that, they're done. So we're pretty much moving into a very simple evening routine. which tends to be when John and I pick up on projects or other things we want to do around the house. And we both just talked about how tired we are and fatigued we are from our schedule and all the things we had on our plate this school year, some that we could control, some that we couldn't control. And we both agreed that we just want to get back to simplicity of our family time together. So our family goal, I don't think we're going to say anything to the kids other than we might say no a little more often to them doing every single thing the church is doing or every single thing their friends want to do, and just really honor our time that we have together and spend that time just simplifying things a little bit. My housekeeping goal, this is not an hour, this is a my. So I've done a few different housekeeping goals. Sometimes it's just like I really need to focus on making sure the dishes are done by the time I go to bed, or I need to organize this particular closet. My housekeeping goal, this is a repeat. You guys have heard me mention it quite a few times since I've been doing goals, is to just purge the house. Yeah, it's so much. Like, it's so many papers and it's so many extra articles of clothing that don't match other pieces of clothing, or just like random, it's so many details, like random crayons that kind of came in with a set of coloring books that don't go in the crayon, I don't know. You know, it's all those things that add up. We've had a lot going on here. The bathroom just got finished. The pool just got finished. So I just went and totally cleared off and reorganized the patio. So a lot of the things that we've kept inside, like some games and stuff that we usually keep on the patio, I can move back out there. The kids have been using mine and John's bathroom, so I can like move all that out of there. And you know how it is when your house is in disarray. Sometimes things just get worn out faster too. So you lose things and things just get disheveled and organization falls to the wayside. And then when you go to reorganize, you realize you don't need half the stuff you have. That's where I'm at with that. So I just need to go through with purging the kids' clothes that don't fit them anymore. I need to go through some of our games and see like what we do and don't have pieces for. It's just kind of like the extra stuff that we don't need anymore. I need to really purge that stuff. I've done the kitchen, I've done the bathrooms, I just did the patio, and I've done our homeschooling stuff for the most part, except for our actual school room, but all of our school storage I've dealt with. Now it's like the living spaces and the kids' rooms I really need to work on. My homeschooling goal is just to be well rested. I am fighting the urge. It's like I got 2 days of summer in me, and then I was like, okay, I can plan for next year. But I look back at some of my videos from the end of the year. I look back at some of my like texts with John. I was beyond depleted, beyond where I usually am at the end of the school year. Like I mentioned a couple of times already in this video, we took on the health of a family member, medical decisions for a family member, as well as another, we had another emergency situation for another family member. The weight of all of that, plus all these construction projects we already had planned for this year, and just so many more things. So we had a lot happen this year, and homeschooling just became something that was very hard to keep stable in the midst of all of that. And so I just got burnt out this year because I wasn't able to make it my priority. In my heart, it was my priority, but physically, there was literally no way. And sometimes that happens, and sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. And I don't regret a single thing about the way our school year went. I could not have tried harder. My kids could not have tried harder, but it was a hard year. And so when I look back at kind of my thoughts at the end of the school year, when I'm editing videos from the end of the school year, I'm like, wow, even though I'm ready to bounce back and I'm excited, I really need to give myself just a little more time to be well rested. Last summer, with all the shutdowns and everything, we also didn't take as long of a summer as usual because I didn't want to call it summer yet until our beaches reopened. And so we actually, I think, took a little bit of a shorter summer last year too. So really didn't get like a solid break before we rolled into the new year. And so I'm just trying to advocate for myself to myself that I need to just be well rested this summer. I'm really not going to start the planning for a few more weeks, which is really hard for me, but I just need to be well rested. And then the last goal is my personal goal. And This is a weird one for me to talk about on YouTube. I talk about like nutrition and health stuff, I feel like fairly often here, but I don't talk about like diet stuff. And I don't know, there's just such a stigma attached to it, I think. But I'll give a little bit of a backstory here without sharing way too much. But so I do feel like I eat well for the most part, although as you know, you get older and your body changes and hormones shift around, which is kind of where I'm at right now. Just things feel and affect you differently. Inflammation can be caused by different things, and a good midwife is so key for me. So after I had Annabeth, I just started seeing a regular GYN instead of my midwife, just because my insurance covered it, was free. And then I think, you know, I've shared here online before too that I thought I was struggling with endometriosis. So this doctor who I had literally just met that day, I have no relationship with, was like, yeah, kind of sounds like endometriosis. Here's birth control pills with his prescription. And that was it. No follow-up, no ultrasounds or labs ordered, nothing. But it sounded right to me because of the things she was saying. And so I'm not, you know, I'm not knocking it, but I just wasn't fully convinced. And I also was leery of taking anything, especially knowing that we do want to have more kids, or, you know, are open to having more kids, and also knowing my body and knowing that hormonal birth control has never been a good fit for me. So I immediately started researching, what's the word I'm going for here? Alternatives? No, holistic options. I'm not sure what I'm really going for here, but I started researching endometriosis, you know, anti-inflammatory diet, things like that. It coupled up at the same time that my youngest child was diagnosed with juvenile arthritis, and so the anti-inflammatory stuff was important at the time as well. We are definitely not totally on track with that anti-inflammatory stuff, but also it definitely took some symptoms away, but it didn't fully fix the problem, which I know you can't fully fix it. But ever since having my miscarriage, I had established care again with my midwife when I found out about that pregnancy. And so ever since having my miscarriage, I've been in communication with her regularly and brought up some of the stuff that had been missed over the last few years that I haven't been seeing a midwife. Well, a lot of what she's telling me, and she's done labs on me and stuff like that, it seems like there's something else going on other than endometriosis, or other than just endometriosis. And so she has encouraged me to try like a low glycemic diet, just being way more intentional about that and really upping my protein. And it's still just been 2 months since I've been doing that, and I feel so much better, like so much better. I'm sure doing those things anyway are much better for you, but it seems to have really targeted some of my pain and some of my issue. And so all that to say, I can get bored of doing something if I don't have good recipes or resources. And so the last couple of months I've been doing pretty well, high fiber, high protein, low glycemic foods, which again wasn't too much of a shift other than the protein, upping that protein. But I have a friend I travel with quite a bit. I spend a lot of time with. She does Trim Healthy Mama. And I literally spend so much time with this friend, and it's never what I love about it. She's been doing this for like, since its beginning. I feel like what I love is that anytime, like, and I brought up traveling because we'll go out to eat quite a bit when we're traveling, or we'll, you know, pack picnics and go places. It really doesn't seem like something that's not sustainable for her. She's got options everywhere we go. She seems very happy on it. And so I ordered the Trim Healthy Mama book and the cookbook. So I'm going to try to give myself like the next 6 weeks to just try. On the one hand, I get bored of trying something like the high protein, low glycemic stuff, just being extra mindful of that. I'll burn out. On the other hand, I can burn out if I have too much information and set these like really high standards for myself. So I'm just setting like a 6-week goal to give the program a try and see if I feel better, see if it helps. It just seems to be along the same lines of what my midwife is suggesting for me. So gonna try it. So that's my personal goal, is to just give this Trim Healthy Mama stuff a whirl. If you guys have favorite recipes from them, I know they're very popular. Let me know down below, because I'm gonna have like 600, I bought all the books. So I'm gonna have so many recipes. I'm gonna be like drinking from a fire hose. It's gonna be way too much. So let me know the things I should definitely try first down below in the comments. So I know it's weird to talk about diets and stuff like that, but I mean, I'm being honest. That's my goal, is to try that out for myself and see if that doesn't help me stay on the same lines that my midwife wants me to be on, while also not being too restrictive or overwhelming myself. So anywho, those are my summer goals. Let me know in the comments down below if you are a goal setter, what you have on your mind and on your heart this summer. If you take a break with your kids during the school year, what are the types of things that you're trying to be focused on? I made a joke to my in-laws the other day, like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to fit 6 weeks of housework or 52 weeks of housework into the 6 weeks of summer. But when I said it like jokingly, I'm like, no, that's literally what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get a year's worth of being a homemaker into the 6 weeks of summer, the things that I let slip through the cracks during the school year. So I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way. If you guys like goals videos, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys soon. Bye guys.